Welcome back to Live Local Marketing, where we meet with experts in the field of marketing and get the ideas and strategies that is working for them right now. Today, we're with Ben Rusk. He's with 7K Gold. He is my Midas. He brings gold to everybody. Everything he touches is gold. So thanks for joining us here today. A quick review of the format. We have 7 topics we're going to throw his way, and he's going to talk about his insights, his strategies, things that are working for him right now under each category. And at the very end, you're going to get a chance to hear a little more about his business and a call to action. So that way you can learn more and set up a meeting to talk with him. Sound good, Ben?
Sounds good.
All right, let's do it. Now I'm me done talking. Now let's get to you talking. All right, cool. First topic is describe to me what your first win was as an entrepreneur.
Well, in the current line of business that I'm in, my first win was uh, enrolling an influencer into my business
Oh, that's good.
because that person just blew up the leg that they were on, and for the past 4 years, I haven't been able to e- equate that in the other leg of my business. So it was really a nice surprise early on. And, I definitely would recommend reaching out to people like that in any kind of marketing business that you're in, because you never know who you're going to tap into.
You had no idea that they were an influencer before you talked with them?
No.
And so all of a sudden you say your numbers just skyrocket. Is that what happened?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So do they make
Yeah.
like videos or what do they do?
They tapped into their network of other
Got it.
influencers and they started collaborating together. And one thing led to another. And the host would interview the other influencer, and the other influencer
Ah.
just told their market that this is the best thing since hula hoops and the sliced bread. And everybody came on board with no questions asked.
So that was it. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. So they would just interview each other. So you had a
Yeah.
handful of people that had a tight knit community and they had a bunch of followers, and they just round robin just interviewed each other and talked about the product.
Yes.
That is, yeah. You haven't been able to replicate that though
I
yet?
am working on that right now. It took me a
Are-
while to figure out what I did because honestly, it was a complete accident. But now that I have understood, what happened, I am now targeting other influencers to bring them on board to repeat that scenario.
That is awesome. All right, here we go. Moving on. The next one is going to be what is one of your best habits as an entrepreneur?
I think it's getting up at the same time every day because
Okay.
I want to start my day out knowing that I've got a full day ahead of me, and I just I just keep going until I get stuff done, right?
Hmm.
So, just push through the day. I mean, it's kind of like the old military adage, you just keep going and going until you can't go no more. And,
You are
you know,
sorry.
go ahead. I'm just saying, I push through the day. I've got a lot of good mentors that teach me
Mm,
how to split up the day into different shifts to get more stuff done by focusing on
mm.
smaller tasks in smaller windows, knowing what needs to be done in that window of time.
So you just basically have calendars or checklists? Do you use those formats?
I kind of plan the day out the night before.
Okay. So you check before you go to bed, make sure you see what's going on the next day, and then you wake up knowing and you just hit the ground running.
Hit the ground running. Absolutely.
All right, so let's take a quick look at it. So talk about 2 segments that you section off. What are your 2 most productive sections of the day?
Really, it's the first section of the morning, my 9 to noon shift. I get in there and I do my networking,
Mhm.
and I could have an appointment in that time slot as well. It doesn't happen every day, but that's my networking time. The next shift, noon to 3, is my follow up time. This is where I'm making sure that people that I've connected with and I stay top of mind with them. And then the third shift, usually 6 to 9, um, is where I kind of get creative. That's where I'm working on the business, doing social media, email marketing
Mm.
campaigns, the things that I got to do the work if I don't want to outsource it. So I have time to be networking, I have time to follow up, and I've got time to be creative.
So, in addition to those sections, what kind of systems do you have in place? That's the next question is like, do you have a CRM? Do you have like a piece of paper? Do you have an Excel? Like, we see that you block it off, but what tools are you using to make that work better?
Honestly, I use a Kanban board. I don't know if your audience is familiar with
No,
that, but a
do that.
Kanban
Talk about
board
that.
are tasks that need to be done. That's the first column. And you just put sticky notes in that column. I got to do this. I got to do this, this, this. And then the night before, you look at that column and you go, okay, I think this is the most important thing I need to do tomorrow. So that
Hmm.
goes to the work in progress column. Now, here's the thing. You can only have 3 items in the work in progress. Well, I got 3 shifts. So each shift
Hmm.
gets a priority item that has to be
Oh.
completed within that shift. So that's called the WIP limit, work in progress limit. You got to limit yourself to what you can get done in a day. Maybe some people can do 6. I don't want to work that hard. I do 3.
Yeah.
So, and then you got your completed column, right? Because you want to look back at the end of the week and say, what did I do?
Mm-hmm.
And so each week you clear the completed column. Every time you have an idea, you put it in the to do column, and then you just get laser focused on that work in progress.
Mm. Oh, that is really neat. So when you know, you said follow up. How do you know who to follow up with and when?
So most of the follow up is either done automatically, or I follow up with the people that my CRM tells me, you
Okay.
said you wanted to follow up with this person on this day. Well, this is that day. Here's the list of people you need to follow up with. So I have a CRM that kind of gamifies the follow up process. If I can get them to enroll in automation, that's great. But if I haven't seen them, the first thing I do is say, okay, who's on the list for today? Are they in my automation? Yes or no? If not, then I make a warm outreach to encourage them to take part in one of my email campaigns. Once I get them on the email campaign, the system takes over.
You're good to go.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right. So now you said earlier that you don't really want to work that hard. So is that how do you avoid burning out? Because you could easily in that system just keep cranking and cranking and cranking away. How do you avoid burnout?
So honestly, I would have to say not very well, right?
That's the most common answer.
Because I just keep on getting on, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And my body will tell me when it's time to just walk
Mhm.
away.
Yep.
And when my body tells me to walk away, I do. I listen to my body. There
Yep.
are times when I'm thinking so hard and working so much that my brain literally wants to shut down. And I kind
Mhm.
of refer to that as my reboot nap. I just need a 15-minute shut my eyes, completely, disengage, um, go unconscious. And even if it's for 10 or 15 minutes, when I come back, I feel like I got my second win and I got another 8 hour shift in front of me.
Nice.
So don't don't push past those points in your business. If your body is giving you hints and clues, take note and do something about it. Whatever your routine is, make sure you go for a walk, you take a nap, you get some food, because if you don't, you will get sick. And I mean physically sick, and
Mhm.
you won't even know it until it's too late. I pushed through that event not too long ago, and I have great experience that if you sit in a chair too long and you get sciatica, you can be out of business. And literally, I was out of business for about 6 weeks because I couldn't sit in a chair. My meetings were done standing up, and I only did a couple of those a day, maybe one. And the rest of the time, I was laid up on the couch because I just couldn't move. So it's
Mhm.
very important that you take every hour, I do a set of stairs every hour. I make sure that I'm well hydrated throughout the day, and I just pay attention, because it doesn't getting sick doesn't do anybody any good.
It's true. I think every business book and every finance book should start with health. That should be for chapter one, no matter what.
Yep.
But all right, anyway, next move on. Right now, what is your favorite strategy that you're using to get clients, build leads, build your business?
Um, I think right now my biggest strategy that's working for me is giving away my free ebook,
Okay.
because I encourage people to download it for free, give it away to everybody they know, because they never know who's going to need the information in that book. And the last page in the book leads them to either an appointment with me or my free workshop. So, it is the gift that keeps on giving as long as people keep giving it away.
Did you write it?
Yes, I did.
Okay, that's awesome. Can you
Yeah.
give us like a little synopsis, like a summary? I know people are going to want to do it themselves, but like, in vague, what is it about?
Well, first I'll tell you how to get it. If you
Okay,
go
that's
to
perfect.
legacyadvantageprogram.com, again,
Okay.
legacyadvantageprogram.com, you can download your copy. And basically, I just talk about, people think that their job on this planet is to get through a 40-year career or to make so much money so that they can retire. Then they think their job is to spend all that money during their retirement years. Well, the question is, what are you leaving behind as your legacy? And the Bible even tells us that a wise man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. So, what are you doing? How many generations are you planning to impact with your time here on this planet? And my ebook really just focuses in on leaving a legacy.
That's
Now,
good.
there's many ways you can do it. Pick one and make sure somebody knows what your plan is.
That's
Me and
good.
my
That's a good one.
family are developing a 7 generation plan.
That's
It all
awesome.
it all starts with the first one. Once you
That's
once you know
awesome.
what you want to do to leave a legacy to that first
Teach your
generation,
next.
the rest of them can just follow on afterwards.
That's a good one. All right, so moving along still. What strategy have you forgone? Which one have you left at the wayside? Just doesn't work anymore. I'm not using it. It's wasting my time.
Paid advertising.
Well, you're speaking my language. Let's do this.
Absolutely. I have tried 3 years in a row. I hire, I talk to a lot of people networking, and I wait for that one person that kind of like, all right, I like you. I want to give you a shot. And so I give them some money and a budget, and I say, okay, here's the deal. I need one conversion from paid advertising. One conversion continues your contract. I've yet in 3 years had anybody continue their contract,
Their contract. How many
because
have you gone through?
my
Like
job
ballpark.
isn't to figure out how to do their job. I
Mm,
hired you to market my business and get me a conversion, not a
yeah.
lead. I want a conversion. Most people are paying for leads. Leads don't do you any good, because
Nope.
then you got to do the work.
Yeah.
An ad should get somebody to your landing page, convince them that taking the next step makes sense. The phone call should be, when would you like to get started?
Yeah.
That's a conversion. That's worth paying for. Problem is, these advertisers don't know how to get that job done.
It's so
Oh,
hard to build the trust just by like online stuff. You need to really build trust like we're doing here. Like it's got to be like a
exactly.
face to face. It's got to be a meeting.
Absolutely.
All right, so we're going to do one last one here. How have you, or do you suggest others build confidence? Let's start with you. How do you build confidence in your sales?
Uh, in myself, I do it through research and education,
Got
right?
it.
The more I know, the more I can pass on,
Got it.
right? If I'm not the expert in my field, why would I expect anybody to follow me?
Amen.
And I hone those skills over time and over courses and through offering my services to other people, you know, sometimes for free,
Hmm.
because I want to see if something resonates with the person on the other end of the screen or the other end of the phone. And the only way to do that is to say, hey, let me help you get your job done because I think I found a technique that I want to use. And if this works, then I can have more confidence in it to present it to other people.
So, what's your suggestion for an entrepreneur then to build their confidence? Is I'm assuming
Same
research, but
thing.
where do you research? Where do you get that? Where do you start?
Well, that's a bigger question. It starts with identify where you're lacking,
Got it.
right? And that's going to be different for every person. You know, your A type personalities don't have any problem getting up in front of a screen and talking to people. You know, your introverts would be like, on camera, no, I don't think so. And so you run the gambit in between. So, you know, you got to really take a self assessment, find one online, and figure out where your strengths and weaknesses are, and then build on those weaknesses. Find ways to either educate yourself or um, hire somebody to educate you in that area.
Where do you put yourself? Introvert or extrovert?
Extrovert.
Extrovert. All right. Okay. All right. All right. All right. Good. This is awesome. These are some great answers. I even love the part where you talk about your systems. That's extremely helpful. So, as we do with every show, I want you to take us out. I want to talk about your business a little bit and where people can get more information and a call or action to them.
All right. Well, definitely wanted to thank you for having me on your show today.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I hope that,
Yep.
you know, the information that I provided gives your
Awesome.
audience some true value. The goal of my business is to educate people on how easy it is to own physical, and I show physical gold and silver. So I have a program that costs $149. It's a one-time fee. After that, you can start owning gold and silver for as little as $1 a week. And we do that through a subscription program. Once you own the whole ounce, you can have it shipped to your front door. If you
Hmm.
want more information on the program, I can be reached at silvergoldlegacy.com. And I'm happy to have a conversation with no obligations. I want to educate you on what's going on in the world today and why people need to start holding gold and silver and not so much US dollars. I do have a workshop on Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. Download my ebook at legacyadvantageprogram.com, and there'll be a link in there to register for the workshop. Feel free to attend and bring a friend, get educated. It's a great story to listen to, and then decide for yourself, you know, where you're going to put your money and what kind of a legacy you're going to leave for future generations. Thank
Ben,
you.
man, I thank you. Like I said, you're my Midas, bringing the gold to everybody. So I appreciate your time today. And I'm sure we'll be swapping marketing ideas in the future.
Look forward to it.